Looking ahead to week 4 of the college football season, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. This game, Jackson Arnold's return to Norman now. What are some early questions, some early thoughts heading into this game? We'll have a full preview and prediction for you in this game on our Tuesday edition of the Hard Count. So make sure you're locked in. If you're an Oklahoma fan and you want that prediction, you're an Auburn fan and you want the prediction, make sure you are subscribed right here. College football year-round. If you're a college football sicko, welcome home. Glad you made it. This is a game now where, like I mentioned, Jackson Arnold coming back to Norman, a place where I have to imagine doesn't have a ton of fond memories. Can Auburn unlock the pass game in this spot? Because to this point in the year, Auburn has done shovel-to-skull kind of offense, all right, just beating people's faces in. Good for them. Good for them. Did it against Baylor, 300 yards rushing. Did it against Southern Alabama. Did it this most recent weekend, or the weekend before last. Like, Auburn's been a running the football kind of team, man. Good for them. You don't apologize for that. Zero apologies for that. However, the question is, can you push the ball downfield to make those Oklahoma safeties honor something on the back end? Because if they can't honor something on the back end, or they don't force them to honor something on the back end, guess what? You go back into the archives on your YouTube TV, go to the library. If you recorded Oklahoma, Michigan, it'll be a lot like that. Be a lot like that. Because Oklahoma, when they can play downhill with their ears pinned back, it's bad for business. I don't care who you are at quarterback, all right? Now, the good news for Auburn is the ability they have to stretch the ball downfield from a personnel standpoint is much better than what Michigan had. Bryce Underwood's super talented, but they don't have a Cam Coleman or an Eric Singleton on the perimeter for Michigan. If they did, maybe that game goes a little bit differently, or at least it's a little bit more exciting in the fourth quarter. I digress. Massive part of this whole game. If Auburn can't push the ball downfield, it's going to get late early in Norman. Now, for Oklahoma, offensively, do they have somebody else that can run the football that doesn't wear number 10 and has the last name Mateer? Because if they do, okay, this is where, again, it favors Oklahoma. They can control the game. They can be a little bit more dynamic in how they call the offense. They can get the Auburn defense running back and forth, and then shots open up downfield. All that is true. But if all you have is quarterback run game, it's not the worst way to live, but it isn't necessarily the way you want to live in this spot. Like, early on in the year, when you have Michigan rolling into town, and it's college game day, it's a big spot, your team's still relatively fresh, it's week 2, all those things, you're okay with pressing the quarterback run button a little bit more frequently because it's kind of one of those grit your teeth, gotta have it kind of games. Same sort of gotta have it feel because it's an SEC game against Auburn, but I think at this point, you'd like to be able to hand the ball to Troy Blaylock. You'd like to be able to say, we'll run inside zone, we'll keep John Mateer the passer and not have to hit quarterback run on 3rd and 1, 4th and goal, all those things. If you do, it's not the worst thing in the world. But again, it's not a scenario that you probably want to live in, because that means that the running back room isn't stepping up to the plate here against an Auburn defense now in their front seven that I think is actually a lot better than most people even realize. It's kind of like whenever you pack that extra polo for a stay at a friend's house, you're like, I'm keeping this so I have it. I don't really want to have to use it. Same deal with the quarterback run game for Oklahoma in this spot. Now, some thoughts on this game. I'm really excited to learn about Oklahoma's psyche. You know, like, great you got it for the Michigan game. Awesome. Great that you won that game. Even better. But now you're playing a team in Auburn that's coming to your place, and Oklahoma's not sneaking up on anybody. Like, Oklahoma has rebranded from the 6-win football team they were a year ago. Oklahoma's got the bullseye. Oklahoma's got the pressure on them. How do they handle that? Because previous Oklahoma teams, Brent Venables and John Mateer have both spoken to this, you beat Texas and Red River. A couple weeks later, you lose to Kansas. What's up with that? What's up? Like, that can't be the world you live in psychologically for Oklahoma. Are you able to carry over what you were from the Michigan game into this game and able to handle being the underdog, but also being the team that a lot of people are picking to win this football game? We'll see if we do or not. Now, for Auburn, other question I have, with the revenge spot for Jackson Arnold, I just think college football and the unquantifiables that go into this game, the game overall, like, I wonder what version of Jackson Arnold we get. Because I think the emotional side of it for him should be pretty charged up. Do we see him play a different brand of inspired football? Do we see him play a little bit more free against his former team? Or do we see him playing against his former team, supercharged emotionally, play a little bit tight, play a little bit on edge, play a little bit to the surroundings of the situation? I don't have a take or a thought there. I just think that his emotional and competitive disposition going into this thing will be a very interesting table setter for how Auburn operates offensively. and it could swing massively in their favor, and you get revenge Jackson Arnold, or you get what I just said, tight Jackson Arnold, make some mistakes, all those things. Fun chess game, though, between two head coaches that specialize in different sides of the football. Is it a chess game where Hugh Freeze kind of has Brent Venables' number, taking advantage of his aggression? Is it Brent Venables getting after Hugh Freeze and their RPO system kind of catch them in a bind? It's funny because as much as that's going to be a massive factor, I actually think it's all about those two sides of the football, the Auburn offense and the Oklahoma defense, teeing up the opposite side of the football. Because I like John Mateer playing from behind a lot more than I like Jackson Arnold playing from behind, with what we've seen from the way this whole thing goes with their passing game, to this point at least. Definitely could pop, but to this point, I think it's worth saying out loud. I don't feel great about Auburn playing a game where they're down 14-3 in the first half. Just my thought on this. So we'll have a prediction for you in this game. If you want that prediction, make sure you're subscribed. That will drop on Tuesday morning, as it always does on this platform, the On3 YouTube channel, 11 a.m. Eastern, our full prediction show for you, and we'll have a breakout video on this game as well. Hey, appreciate y'all making the show what it is. For Caden Smith on the ones and twos, for myself, JD PicKell. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. We'll keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.